René Pape, bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Thanks for meeting us here. It's a great pleasure to meet you. René Pape, you are one of the most famous bass of nowadays in the opera world. From what I've heard a few days ago, people love you as a singer and also as an actor. Where does this all come from? I understood that you have been singing almost all your life. What did you like about singing?
Yeah, hey, hello, bonjour, nice to meet you. Nice to be here on this platform. To start, where it comes from, the acting and the singing. It's first of all, it's the love to music. It's the love to interpret different characters. It's the love to make my audience happy. And so I grew up in a boys choir in my hometown in Dresden, in Germany. And I'm singing, since then. I cannot do anything else than singing. So, and I really love it. And I grew up in music. I started with church music. And I stayed in that field for like 6-7 years as a young, as a child, and then as a teenager and a young adult. So, and then later I started studying singing as a normal music student. And I started my professional career in 1988 in Berlin.
So, you've always been into music. From what I've heard, it was something from your family?
I grew up most of the time with my grandmother, and she was very into music as a music lover. So, and we had a lot of great music live in Dresden, like the Staatskapelle, like the chorus I grew up. Dresdner Kreuzchor is a very famous boys choir. And later on, the opera house in Dresden reopened after a long renovation period, which was one of the leading opera houses before it was destroyed in 1945. So, and I grew up with her, and she took me to concerts and to events, musical events. So I started to love this kind of music, and of course growing up in this chorus, in this choir, gives me a sense of music. So.
Do you remember one special experience or opera?
There are many.
Many, just not just one.
Yeah, I was like as a child, I went to a concert version of Die Götterdämmerung in Dresden, and I was sitting in the first or second row with my grandmother, and in front of me was Matti Salminen shouting and interpreting the Hagen, and I was so impressed as a child, you know. So
that could be
it was like unconscious kind of start, you know. So. And so later on, I met Matti many times. We sang together. We became friends. So it was a great start. Let's say that. Yeah.
When you discovered that you were a bass, were you happy about that, or would you have preferred?
I was happy to be not a soprano. Yes, anymore.
Really? Some people are
no, I
really
mean I find no. I sang a lot as I was soprano. I was altos. Then as a teenager, you stop a little bit because your voice changed. So then I continued as a tenor, then a baritone, and then a bass. So.
How would you define your voice now exactly?
I'm basso cantante.
Basso cantante.
Yeah. I'm not a black, like we say, black bass or schwarzer bass. I'm just basso cantante.
So that's why you would not think some things like Commendatore.
Not yet, maybe later. But
Really?
but this is, I don't know.
No,
I didn't think about so.
Define the...
I didn't think about yet. So there's a lot of other things to do. sotto la volta nera, là nella vellote le sei il deserto regai, a me desse il poter di leggere nei cor. Ella giammai mi amò. No, quel cor chiuso a me, amor per me non ha. Amor per me So. Yeah. Some coffee is good in the morning.
Et pain au chocolat. You don't have that. A good one.
We have that too, but
Not as good.
in France it might be a little bit more authentic. Let's say that.
Do you like?
The French cuisine?
Everything.
Yes, I love everything. No, it's good to be. It's good to be here, and of course I like the food as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard somewhere that you really like to cook.
I do. When I'm alone, I don't do it so much. But when I'm at home with friends, so it's nice. Yeah, it's relaxing, and it's communicating. So the kind of communication, and you have friends, and you talk, and and you cook. So it's a very nice thing. Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of singers do really like good food.
You need good food. I mean, everybody needs good food, not just singers. So
No, but they really like it.
it's a shame that so many people they eat this crap like McDonald's or Burger King, and destroying their own body and their own brain. So which is not good. Yeah, that's true.
Do you? How do you take care of your voice? Do you have a special kind of things
No.
that you should avoid? No. Bass
I avoid.
voices are very strong.
I avoid the bad mood. So I'm a positive person. So and I love what I'm doing. So even sometimes it's very hard and very demanding, but I have joy. And I know what I can do, so I know where I am, who am I, so who I am, that's what.
Do you listen to music?
Yeah, of
Sometimes?
course, yes. Everything,
What kind of music?
everything except rap or hip hop. But I like, sometimes even I listen to rap, but it's not my generation, so anyhow. But I like electronic music, I like jazz, blues.
Do you think there is a difference of
Chanson, I like a lot.
Chanson French?
I mean, Charles Aznavour just passed away. It's very sorry. It's very a pity for the music world. But he did a lot. He gave us a lot, so which is good.
Do you also listen to opera?
Yeah, of course. I'm an opera singer. So
No, because I
listen.
know a lot of opera singers who
No, I
just don't
do.
want to listen to
No,
opera.
I do sometimes. I mean, I'm I'm not getting up in the morning and putting opera and going to bed with opera. No, of course not. But I do listen. Yeah.
Laugh and sing and dance for two instead of one. Want no wrinkle on your brow, oh how, because this horror of the past is all undone. Oh, bless my eyes, the real happiness is just begun.
Do you think there is a difference of experience, feeling between listening to classical music and pop music, or is it for you it's the same kind of thing?
There are differences, of course, and first of all, my music gives you emotions, and music with words give you more emotions. So, because you can follow a drama or a tragedy or a comedy, and it moves your body. So, pop music or rock and roll, whatever, gives you emotions as well, but in a different way. So, because you're more in a kind of dance mood, and it's more physical, and you're thinking about all the texts, all the lyrics. They are about love, about meeting somebody or losing somebody. So, and opera has more. It's going a little bit deeper because you're all talking about jealousy. You're talking about betrayal. You're talking about death a lot. So, which is. I always combine. I mean, you cannot combine it really because of the sounds, but music in general gives you always emotions. Doesn't matter which kind of music. So, and if you, I think I know where you want to go with your question. I think if you listen a lot to pop music or popular music or electronic music, you are able to swallow classical music, and you are able to understand opera because it's also a question of emotion. Merci.
It's interesting because after speaking with French people and German people, I realized that there is a difference in the way you see music. Usually, when you speak to French people, if they listen to pop music, they don't know anything about classical music. You see, there is this separation between the two kind of music that I don't think there is in Germany. Classical music in France is really something that you can hear when you want to listen to it, but you don't hear it on the radio unless you go to Radio Classique or
yeah, it's the same in everywhere. You have classical channels, you have classic channels, you have pop channels, you have stupid channels, so you have jazz or whatever.
It seems that German people know more about classical music than the French.
I don't know.
Or maybe it changed. Maybe that's
Of course, we have Bach, Schütz, Weber, Wagner. We have a lot of composers. You also have a lot of composers, but the tradition maybe might be different. So, and I know. I have a lot of friends in Paris and also in France. So the average people, they listen a lot to this kind of, I don't know how to say it, to French music, which means French, not just pop music. I mean also ballads, and it's very related to the text. So I know a lot of people, they can sing all the songs and which are played on the radio. So, and it's more, it goes deeper. I think the pop, or let's say non-classic culture, it's deeper than in other countries because different because I think it's many things are related to also this chanson culture, which works a lot with lyrics, which is very nice. So, and I think the pop music also is related to that more than in Germany because we don't have this kind of chanson culture. So, and I can be wrong, I don't know, but I think there's a relation with that.
But I think it's getting away because we don't have a lot of chanson singers anymore.
No, but a tradition. You know.
Tradition, yes.
Bon appetit, everybody. No, we have the same. We have croissant, we have pain au chocolat, we have a lot of cakes, gâteaux. It's really dangerous to go from the apartment to the rehearsals or opera house. You have like 5 great boulangeries and patisseries, and you just eat.
No, you seem to be okay.
I have to take care, yeah. I have to be careful because all the sweets, you know, all these desserts, and but
Do you do
it's fine.
sports a little bit?
If I have time, I go.
Yeah. Do you like it or do you do it because you need it?
Both. So, sometimes I'm getting crazy. I go every day, and sometimes I don't go for a month or two. So depends on my mood.
Okay, if someone came to you and said he wants to discover opera or classical music, and he doesn't know about anything, which is the case of most people now, what would you say? Because people do that to me, and that's getting.
Yeah, I would try to think about a list with what to start. I would like to explain a little bit about the history, about where classic comes from, or what was classical music. Classical music was the pop music in that age, and I could build a bridge from classical music to jazz and to blues, which they're using classical chords and harmonies and things like this. And going to musical, to operetta like Offenbach, and then of course Mozart, back to Bach, and maybe listen a little bit to some Baroque music, which could be, if it's fast, it's also kind of has this dance mood, you know, so this dance pace, and and then I would start to talk about stories, like sad stories or funny stories, like comedy or tragedy, or it could be also, then I could make a connection to blockbuster movies, like really action movies, and or some sad movies, some artisan movies like art house. It depends on the person, you know. Depends on how open this person will be, and want to discover this kind of art form.
And if it were opera, someone who came to you and said, "I want to go to the opera."
Yeah, buy a ticket and go.
Yeah, that's what I said. And at that point, you buy a ticket for any kind of
ask
thing.
me, I will give you a ticket for free and go.
Yeah, that's it. Now the point is, that's the problem with them. When they come, they go and they see this staging they don't understand, and they don't go to the opera anymore. That's I want to really to speak about this question of the stage direction.
Yeah, but to say I go to an opera, I see a bad production, and I don't go to opera anymore. It's stupid, because if you go to a movie and it's a bad movie, you will not say you don't go to the cinema anymore. So you continue until you see a production you really love, and you really like. And of course, it's an art form. That means you have a kind of contemporary productions, you have kind of traditional productions. So it depends on the director, and it depends on his childhood and what he brings on stage later on, you know. So
Do you think the director should bring on stage his own?
no, they shouldn't, but they do.
Yeah.
They are psychos. So I'm sorry to say that, but it's interesting to walk with them, and many of them, they are great. They are fantastic. They have great ideas, and I have to say many of them, they are not as good, but it's also different to be a part of the process than to be a consumer, you know. So
Do you have, that's a question that everybody asks, can you do something about it? I mean, as a singer, can you say, no, this is really not for me, this is stupid? Because sometimes we see these singers doing stupid things on stage, and we say, why do they let themselves?
it depends on. I mean, the best case would be if you walk as a team. You have a stage director, and everybody can bring his ideas. So, but the stage director should be prepared and have a concept, you know. So, and in that concept, you can move yourself. You can say, okay, listen, I did like 20 productions of that piece, so I have a kind of experience. Doesn't mean we have to do the same what I have done before, but I have a lot of experience and you don't. You do this piece the first time, you can't even read the score, so listen to us, and we will teach you how to do opera, you know, sometimes.
Do you do?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have to, but otherwise, it's a big fight sometimes. But the result is important, you know. Nobody cares how we fight or what, but we have to stay on stage for 9 to 10 performances and come back a year later, or other colleagues have to be in the same production, and the director disappeared after the opening night, so he doesn't care anymore. So, but we have to, because we are on stage, so we are rather being good, and we can transport the drama in a good way that everybody can understand it, or we shouldn't do it. So, but you know, when you sign a contract, you don't know what happened. You don't know the director. Most of the time, you don't know, and then you have signed the contract, and you cannot. I mean, if it's really worse, you can say no. But I walked with him or her, I will not do it again. But normally you just continue, and then you try to do the best out of it. But it sounds really negative now, but most of the time you have good productions. So
Most of
depends
the time,
on
from
where
what
you go.
I see bad productions.
Yeah, bad and good. But I have done a lot of good ones. So. Of course, a few bad ones as well.
Which one, for example, would you say you really liked?
I really loved the last festival we did in New York, which was done by a filmmaker, but he was actually a great one because he is a musician as well. He can read the score. He was prepared for a long time. François Girard, a French-Canadian filmmaker, and he was brilliant, and it was a fantastic atmosphere to work with him. He was listening. It was a given and taken, and we were a team. We have been a team, which was very important. For example.
Yeah, but that's one of the most wonderful productions I've ever seen. And we could feel that this teamwork, that's very obvious. I saw it on
HD in cinema.
HD, of course. What do you think of this Tristan, for example?
This one? Let's say it's interesting.
That's something we hear a lot.
Most important, the music. So Philippe Jordan, the orchestra, the chorus, the male chorus, the cast, the soloists. We are doing I think, a very good job. Let's say that.
Soy alles Volk zu Hof und Land, mit Miet und Treuen in den Tram, die Königin dem Lande, die Gattin sich zu kiesen, da selber du den Ohnbeschluss des Hofes Wunsch, des Landes Willen, gütlich zu erfüllen, in Fehr wieder Hof und Hand, in Fehr selbst gegen dich, mit List und Güte weigerte sich, bis Tristan du ihm drohtest, für immer zu meiden Hof und Land, würdest du selber nicht entsandt, dem König die Braut zu frein. Da ließ er's denn so sein.
It's very nice to work with Philip because I know him for many, many years, and the conductor Philip Jordan, and we are kind of friends. We met first in 20 years back in Berlin. He was an assistant of Daniel Barenboim, so and since then we know each other, so a long time. He was kind of a baby, so me too, as a bass baby. So and I think the piece, the production was done in 2003. So it was a time where everybody thought you have to do video and all those things. And Bill Viola is a great video artist, and I think most of that video we can see here is beautiful. There are some parts I think they are not the best, but that's normal. I haven't seen all of it because I'm on stage sometimes, and but I got some feedbacks from artists, from visual artists, and they like it, some they didn't like it. So, but that's normal. You know, you cannot like everything. And but I think the idea is good because it's not just screen there, but it's a piece in the piece. It's an art piece in an art piece, which I like actually. So staging with us singers, I think there's nothing.
There is nothing.
So we are like little puppets in the comparison to the large video.
Yes.
We are like little puppets shouting 5 hours, and but I think it's okay.
You actually
I have done
something
much better productions. I mean, better. What is better? What is worse? You know, that's always a personal way to think about. But I have done better ones, but I have done also much worse ones. You know.
Okay, so tell me about the roles that you prefer. Unless you like everything.
I do like everything. I mean, I'm since I'm singing like 30 years now. Besides Figaro, Giovanni Leporello, or other little guys, I mean, play like more little guys like more active guys. I'm singing all the gods, the kings, the priests, so fathers. So I have this kind of, you know, like settled characters, you know, settled in the sense of, I mean, Wotan is not settled, he's just like this. But I'm a storyteller like Gurnemans, I'm a betrayed king like Marke, or betrayed king, or a king who doesn't know where to go, or he's stuck in his life like King Le Roi Philippe. So I'm playing these kind of characters all my life long. So in private I'm completely different, which is normal. So I love it. I just love it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You You mentioned Fidelio, Rocco, or Marke. I like all of these complex characters, you know. So I like to play them. It's not just about music. I'm an actor as well. So I love the staging. I love the theater atmosphere. I love this interaction between characters. So I could also do much more concerts or recitals, but I'm on the stage animal, like we say, you know. So I want to play.
I think that's why really people like you on stage.
Perhaps,
Even in this production, when you come and be your mark, you really play it, even if it's complicated with the staging.
Yeah, I mean, I know what to do, and I bring, as I mentioned earlier, I bring some experiences as well.
Did you take some lessons? Theater
what
lessons?
lesson? No.
No? Some singers do.
Yeah.
No, you just know what to do.
And for some it helps, for some it doesn't help. It's just wasting money. So.
Je ferai de mon mieux pour n'ennuyer personne. Sans cesse sa puissance, on a sans cesse sa puissance, de beau du monde à notre beau. Pour fêter la valide le roi, ses peuples confondus, au brisant des écus, prend soin d'une ronde folle, autour de son piédestal, autour de son piédestal. Il s'attend contre mille balles, contre mille balles. Il s'attend contre mille balles, contre mille balles. Le vaudou est vainqueur de Dieu, dans sa gloire et de l'histoire. Dans sa gloire et de l'histoire, le monstre abject ensuite aux cieux. Il contemplera et trompe à ses pieds les hommes humains, c'est rien les frères romains, dans le sang et dans la frange. Où brille l'ardent métal, où brille l'ardent métal. Il s'attend contre mille balles, contre mille balles. Il s'attend contre mille balles, contre mille balles.
Is there a role that you would have loved to do, even if it's not your voice, even if it's tenor? A role
No, I don't want to be a tenor character because they are all stupid. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Nothing against my beloved colleagues, but I don't want to be a tenor. I mean, even singing one or two arias, very famous. The characters are stupid. I mean, they are. I don't know. So, and I mean, I would like to sing a nice tenor aria, but not the full character. I don't know what to play. I mean, there are a few good ones. I mean, I like Marquis Posa, Rodrigo in the baritone in Don Carlo. I love the character of Scarpia, but it's baritone. I cannot sing it. Barak, it's a great part, but also baritone. So
I heard that
I
you
would
were
like to.
into Ox, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, that might come. But this is a bass role, so that's a bass role. A lot, but I cannot mention. I cannot talk about it. So.
Soyez amis, mighty Atrano, gotowi do krwi, soli bracci pir, choć dieta uczeszenie. Как буря смерть уносит жениха, и тут лукавая молва виновника дочерного вдовства читала: Боже праведный, меня несчастного отца. Кто не умрет, я всех убийца тайный. Я отравил сестру свою царицу, я ускорил Феона на кончину, я отврата несчастного царевица малютку.
Yeah, I didn't mention Boris. Yeah, Boris I love to do. Yeah, a lot. It's also a very strange character, from the lovely father to the big dictator and the bad man.
Do you think he killed the boy?
There are two versions. So sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Do you have Russian blood?
No. Why?
Because everybody says, "Oh, he looks so Russian."
Oh, thank you.
That's true.
Because of my
I don't know.
cheeks. Yeah.
I didn't see you sing a lot of modern opera.
No.
Because you don't like it, or because nobody?
It depends on. No, I'm not good in that.
You're not good.
So let's say that.
It's very different to sing.
It's different. No, it's not different to sing. It's different to study. You study it for like 2 performances, or 3 or 4, and then it disappeared. So you spend a lot of time for, sorry to say that, for nothing.
But why?
And so because the composers in these days, it's my personal opinion, composers these days, they don't know what to compose. So they compose noises. They don't want to do what have been done before. So, and they are lost. So they compose noises without knowing what it is. So we have to study noises. So, and in different rhythms and it's not about singing anymore. So you have no melody to remember. You have no, when you study a piece like a modern piece, or like let's say a contemporary piece. Not all of them, forgive me, but many of them. You don't know. You have no idea how to learn it, because there are no harmonies. And I think the human ear is based on harmonies, and the human body, and everything which is against that, we feel pain. Even if we talk about "I love you" or "you are a beautiful human being" or woman, but saying it in a strange way, it hurts and nobody believes. I love you. So you will not believe me. So you could say the coffee is cold or whatever. It's the same.
Some people told me that it was because our ear is used to
Yes,
harmony and is not used to the.
I mean, if you see the evolution of music, of course, Bach, Mozart, they were also contemporary composers, if you see it in that way. But it was another way of listening, and the ear was trained to listen to harmonies. So, and in that time, of course, to be a revolutionary composer like Mozart was, he changed a little bit the way of music, but he didn't try to invent the bicycle a second time, I say, you know. So, and he's just continuing the tradition and doing something better and better and better. And I think when we listen to Richard Strauss, he also used things from the past, from the traditional way of composing, and found his own way, which is beautiful, which is I mean, Rosenkavalier is a masterpiece, you know, besides others. And Elektra is a masterpiece. So, and using all these traditional forms to build something new, but you can understand it because your ear understands it. That's fantastic. So, and of course you go a little bit farther to Bartók or Mahler. That's a fantastic. Those are great people, but they didn't have to use all these noises thing, you know, because they still were in this time where harmonies, even disharmonies, were understandable. Everybody wants to be unique, and nobody is unique, because if I want to be unique but nobody listens to me, it doesn't make sense. So, and if I try to be more in the tradition of what happened until the 30s or 40s in the last century, and I continue that, I would be more successful, I think. But then you have, Prokofiev, Ligeti, so you have so many other composers that were very contemporary in their time, but you still can listen to it. And in our time, contemporary music is, for my opinion, most of the time not listen. I cannot understand it. You know, I have pain, and I don't want to. You know, the average life is not easy for everybody. And if you go to a concert or an opera and you listen to something which you cannot describe, you think it's music because there are instruments involved, but it's not music. It's a cluster of noises. So you don't. So actually, you end your day with the stress you had through all day. You know, you had all day long. So you don't end it in harmony. You end it in stress, and I don't like that.
It's a little bit the problem with modern staging as well.
Yeah, but you can close your eyes.
Sometimes, but not all the time. If it's 5 hours of music.
No, of course. You open just a little bit and then you close.
To see the subtitles.
You have to read it, yeah, of course.
But it's right that you.
But at least you have the music. I mean, sometimes the staging can destroy the meaning of the piece, which I don't like, but happened. You're right. But at least you have the music, which you take away. You have maybe bad pictures as well, but the music stays as well. So
yeah, but you don't have the acting if you close the eyes. But the acting is important.
The acting is important. That's true. So, but opera is also about music. First of all, it's music. Then it comes to production. Then it comes to staging. Then it comes to acting. But first of all, it's the music. I hope composers in these days are successful. I wish them luck. I wish that these pieces are lasting for a long time. But as you can't remember a phrase or a melody, how you can think about that these pieces stay for long, because nobody remembers a bar of it or a bit of it, you know. So that's the point.
Within our sacred temple, all harmony forgive. Revenge is never taken. By love do all men live. Forever faithful and forthright, we pledge ourselves to guard the light. Forever faithful and forthright, we pledge ourselves to guard the light. Forever faithful selbst du Gott Leid, tu Gott, tu Gott Leid.
You told me that Mozart was revolutionary for you.
In his time, yes.
What is revolutionary about Mozart?
The way of composing, the way how he did it, the way how he lived. So the way he was a rebel kind of, as a
Life as a composer.
yeah, of course. So I mean,
Because some
I
people
didn't
say
live
that
in
he
this
was
time,
not,
so
that he, the real one was a bit of.
there are others, yes, as well. But I think all these guys we play still now, they were kind of they brought something new into it. So I think, or continued things.
So if you needed to save one score from the end of the world, which one would you save?
My life diary.
But that's not a score.
How you know that?
Ah, that's really interesting.
No, I cannot answer
No
this
famous-
question. No,
No favorite.
you have no, but it doesn't make sense to say I would take this score on an island. Why this one? I mean, then you have it, you know it by heart, and you're missing the others. So
That's right. Some people say that with Bach they can spend their life with Bach.
of course you can. I mean, he wrote so many things. Bach, Mozart. There's music for every single moment, for every emotion. So these two, they were of course fantastic. But I don't want to spend my time just with Bach and Mozart on an island. No.
Oh, that would be boring.
After a while, maybe.
O Freunde, nicht diese Töne, sondern lasst uns angenehmere anstimmen. Freudenvollere Freude schöner Götterfunken, Tochter aus Elysion. Wir betreten feuertrunken, himmlische dein Heiligtum. Deine Zauber binden wieder, was die Mode streng geteilt. Alle Menschen werden rüde, wo dein sanfter Flügel weilt.
It's a very, very hard business. I say business, but I don't like to use these words job and business for making music, but it explains easier. And it's very hard for us, to be far away from loved ones, to make people happy every night or almost every night, and to stay happy for yourself. It's very hard, so you need a lot of support. You need a lot of understanding, you need a lot of love from home, through the telephone or Skype or whatever. So it's not easy for the people, for your family who stays away from you as well. Mm-hmm. And they live their average life, you live your artist's average life. And you need a lot of understanding. And but it's great to do it. It's great to be able to have this gift. To have this gift to be able to make people happy. So.
Of course. So you think there is hope for opera
there
in
is
this
hope.
world?
Yes.
Even though it's overwhelmed.
And we are on stage. We have to animate our listeners. We have to show them. Of course, in one hand is the hard work, but to do music and to be able to make people happy, to give people goosebumps or tears, or make them smile or cry. This is a big gift we have, So, and we have to use it in a good way, not just thinking about my high note and do this kind of career.
Do you think that?
And we have to show everybody that we have fun, So that singing is very healthy for your brain, for your body. And that singing is you're on a good mood when you are able to sing or to listen to singing. So go to opera. Just go. Be critic. Criticize, but love it. And people can just talk about an art form if they see it or if they listen to it. They cannot just like say, okay, that's bullshit, that's bad, blah blah. It's for an elite. It's too expensive, blah blah. It's of course it costs a lot of money, but it's better to put money in culture than to put money in a construction place which stays there for half a year and nothing happened. So. And or put money in education, put money in cultural education. So that's important. And we have to go to listen to classical music to understand a part of the human being, a part of the mankind. And classic helps to understand a lot. You don't have to like it or to love it or to listen every day, but it's a part of our tradition. So, and it's a part of our tradition which lives also in our life now and will be in the future. So, for people who are interested in the future, they should know much more about the past. Otherwise, we will be lost.